Hello, everybody. Coach Jenny here. Here I am. I'm coming at you live in the Get Out of Your Own Way coaching community. Thank you for being part of this Facebook group. I'm super excited that you're here. So today I want to talk about that pithy little phrase called the struggle is real. Now, before we dive in, I know that it's meant to be a tongue-in-cheek, cute little phrase that we use all the darn time as kind of making fun of our first world problems and this idea that the struggle is real and all of that stuff. I get that. But I'm going to take that sentence a little literally for the purposes of this here mini workshop. Because far too many of us have decided to allow Hilda, that voice in our head, to tell us that the struggle is real. That everything is a frickin' struggle. And that if you are struggling, there has to be some hidden meaning. Pardon me. So I want to talk about that today. I want to dig into it a little bit. I have some notes. I want to make sure I cover everything. And I have some hiccups. That's what happens when you go live. You get hiccups. Beautiful. So I want you to stop thinking that the struggle is so real. It's so real. It's so demoralizing and derailing and distracting and all things that start with the letter D. I want you to stop lying to yourself because the struggle does not have to be so freaking real. In fact, the whole idea of the struggle needs to go away once and for all. So first of all, let's kind of play around. There's a little semantics here, but are you challenged or are you struggling? Okay? Now, the same exact task, the same exact to-do list, the same exact random Tuesday in August can feel like a challenge or a struggle. Am I right? And it's all in how you approach it, or it's all in how you decide to approach what you've got on your plate. I think a lot of us are deciding that everything is an effing struggle. Everything is really challenging, really hard, and I'm struggling with this idea, I'm struggling with this decision, I'm having this fight. Versus I'm challenged by it. So let's talk about that semantics and play with that a little bit because I believe that words matter. This word struggle is a way for us to feel validated, maybe even vindicated a little bit, that this is so hard for us. I'm here to say something that's kind of harsh. You ready? Your struggle is boring. Right? It's kind of boring. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lori. Hi, Chris. This idea that everything's such a big freaking struggle is a theatrical way of approaching the challenges that lay ahead of you. Now, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, hopefully you're this kind of person. Hopefully you're an entrepreneur or a wantrepreneur, somebody who's building a business. Hopefully you're somebody who is just determined to get out of your own way and figure out how to level up in a big way. And hopefully you're listening to the sound of my voice because you know that that voice inside of your head has held the position of leader for far too freaking long. And you're ready to take her over. If all of those things are true, then we have to drop the struggle because it's not real. It is a fabrication that Hilda has taught you. And it may very well be just a really bad habit of approaching everything as like a big effing struggle. It's so hard. It's so challenging. There's something about it for you, particularly for you, that makes it so, So I know I'm making fun of it, but how many of you have said the word struggle today, this week, right? I'm struggling to figure out this. I'm struggling to figure out that. What if you simply change the semantics to, this is challenging me. Why is this challenging me? What about this is so difficult? Why is this exciting? Why is this terrifying? Why is it? And really start to unpack instead of approaching it as, oh, this is really a struggle. This is so hard. This is so difficult. There's something about it that's just going to make me crazy. Lori says, I have in my head. Good. All right, we have it in our heads that everything that we are going through is especially special. And I hate to burst your bubble. I really, really do. Somebody's got to do it. But your struggle is not all that different from everybody else's. But in our heads, we feel like we're the only ones who are challenged by this. We're the only ones that have this, who do you think you are, noise in our head. We're the only ones who are really worried about in perfectionism going out into the world and what people are going to think of us. We're the only ones that are terrified of being embarrassed or making an ass of ourselves. We're the only ones who are worried about what our in-laws and mothers and friends and that chick from high school is going to think. We're the only ones who procrastinate and watch way too many Netflix. We feel like we're the only ones, and therefore we feel validated by using that word struggle, that this is so freaking hard. Well, it's not that freaking hard, and it's not that freaking easy either, okay? I'm saying freaking a lot. What I want you to do, what I really want you to do today, if you take nothing away from this, is recognize that every time you use the word struggle or any of its playmates, you are choosing to make it harder. Now look, you're badasses and you want to do these great things. The people I was describing, you entrepreneurial people that are looking to shake the world by its shoulders, you have not chosen an easy path. Right? You haven't. You could go get a job. That's what I call any job where they just give you a paycheck every 2 weeks because, you showed up. You could go get yourself a job where they pay you all the big bucks for just showing up and being you and delightful and keeping that seat warm. Have at it. Nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of people that are completely satisfied with that. However, again, if you're here, I'm guessing you're not. You're not one of those people that's satisfied with that. But somewhere along the line, somebody may have taught you that this is going to be easy. If you just sit back, kick back, listen to me, follow my 7 steps to blah, 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 then you will be making $100,000 a month by Tuesday, right? Or if the magical thinking, sorry, law of attraction people, the magical thinking people out there have been taught if you just believe enough and you put it into action, that it's going to just start manifesting and falling into your laps. How's that working out for you? Not so much, right? We have chosen a difficult path. We have chosen a path that takes work, takes tenacity, you have to push through it even when you don't feel like it. You have to do stuff even when you question it. You have to push through the second guessing and the worry of like, am I on the right path? Am I not? And all of it can feel overwhelming. Here's when it feels like a struggle. When you do it alone. That's it. When you're going through this, it's just you and Hilda and a notebook of paper, that's when you're in trouble because you're going through this experience alone. You're in your head alone. You're not having somebody keep you out of your own head, as Chris would put it, right? You're going through the motions alone, and there is where Hilda sees an opening to insert the word struggle, to point out that this is just harder for you than everybody else. There's something wrong with you, or something right with you, that makes this just more challenging than it should be. So I want to burst your bubble. It's going to be hard. You've chosen a difficult path. You've decided that you want to do something big and bold. And big and bold doesn't come with a little ice cream sundae. It's going to be challenging. So stop lying to yourself that the struggle is real and just get on with it already. Stop whining and complaining and lying to yourself that this is somehow harder for you. There's something about you that makes this bigger, harder, more challenging, that you just don't have what it takes. I call bullshit. You do have what it takes. You just may not be able to do it alone. Now, even that statement, I want to be clear, I know you can do it alone, but you can do it together a hell of a lot faster. So have you built your team? Have you found your people? Do you have that sounding board? Do you have a coach? Do you have a copywriter? Do you have a designer? Do you have, what other tools do you need in your toolbox? Other humans that can really push you. Do you have a mastermind partner? Do you have a mastermind group? Do you have an accountability buddy to hold you accountable? What is it that you need to put in place so you stop freaking struggling? You stop lying to yourself that it's a struggle and there's something wrong with you, but you go out and actually act like a pro. Okay? I want you to go professional, go pro, which is like a camera and sounds funny. I want you to go pro with this. If you were showing up like a professional, even the days that it really, really sucks, you would keep showing up. Even in the middle of the summer when you'd rather be watching an eclipse, you would show up, right? This idea that the struggle is real has become this tongue-in-cheek way of excusing the fact that this is a little more tough than you expected it to be. It is going to be more tough than you expect it to be. And here's the really shitty part. Nobody's willing to tell you. Everybody in entrepreneurship, when they tell you, come be an entrepreneur, it's so much fun over here. It's going to be great. You know, you come over, you become an entrepreneur, you're going to make 6 figures by Sunday. It's going to be lovely. And then suddenly it's going to get easier and easier and easier. No, man, not going to happen. New level, new devil. As you grow, as you push yourself, there's going to be new things that scare you. There's going to be new challenges ahead. There's going to be all kinds of stuff that get into your head. And Hilda, while you may have squashed her, maybe you got her imposter thinking to go away, she's going to hit you with something else because she is clever. What she wants to do more than anything is to stop you in your tracks. And if you have figured out how to push through an I can't Hildaism, maybe she'll hit you with an I don't know Hildaism to get you second guessing yourself. Or maybe you stop second guessing yourself, you make a decision, you cross the starting line, and you're feeling really good. And then she's going to make you worried about being embarrassed. And she's going to hit you the 1-2 punch of I shouldn't Hilda and I don't want to Hilda, hitting you back and forth saying, no, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't. See, Hilda's conniving and she's going to keep coming at you. And the bigger you go, the bolder you are, the more she's going to get loud. But if you work with me, if we really dig into this, you're going to figure out all the tools that you need so that the next time she hits you with some clever new thing that you've never experienced, some new mindset games, new mind fuckery that she's up in there with, you're going to be able to say, oh, hold on. I learned a little bit about this. I haven't had to address this one before because, you know, Hilda had been sticking to her greatest hits, but now I know this one. I saw this coming. Coach Jenny told me about this one. I'm ready for you, Hilda. This is not a struggle. I can hack this. It's a challenge, but I can hack it. So what do you guys think? Do you think if you drop the word struggle and raise your awareness to how much you're approaching everything as an effing struggle, that you could actually just see it as a challenge, see it as an obstacle, and drive forward? I think you can. And I would love, love, love to challenge you to do just that. Okay? So stop the struggle. Stop worrying about it. Stop expecting it to be easy and then when it's not, be disappointed. Stop making it harder than it needs to be and creating unnecessary struggle because that's how you've always done it. I want you to just look at what you've got to do and change to struggle, right? Change struggle to challenge. Change to challenge. I want you to think about everything as a challenge, something that you get to tackle, right? In my coaching program, we talk a lot about the have to, want to, get to thing. Let me explain it. Really brief. When you're approaching something as a struggle, it feels like something you have to do, right? A have to is like an obligation, right? You got to suck it up. You have to do it. That's not fun. I want to shift you up to the next step, which is a little stronger, right? I want to do this. This is a challenge. This is hard, but I want to do this. Okay? Same task, different approach. And then if you can really get your mindset to the top class, where I really want to have you is, I get to do this, right? That's when you've got this kind of motion going on, right? Same task, same challenge, same thing ahead of you. But instead of I have to do this, I want to do this, it's I get to do this, right? That's where I want your mindset to be. And notice that this, the thing, the activity hasn't changed. It's your mindset. It's your approach. It's the way you think about it. There's very little room for Hilda when you're in that I get to mindset. Drives her crazy. When you're hanging out into that I have to do this mindset, like, right, then terror is winning over excitement. When you're in the middle and you're like, okay, I want to do this, you're halfway there. You want to do it, you're excited and you're terrified. But when you're in the I get to do this, the fear is quieter. And when the fear is quieter, Hilda's quieter. And when Hilda's quieter, you can do anything, right? That's where you get out of your own way. Chris has reframed to I get to do this. I love it. Back in control. Good point. That's where the control is, right? Over here, I have to do this feels like something that's being done to me, right? It feels like an assignment. I want to do this feels like, okay, a little bit better, but I get to do this is an opportunity mindset, right? This is an opportunity. This is my moment. I want you to have those moments. They might feel like, oh shit, this shit just got real moments, but I get to do that. I want you to experience a lot more of that. And you do that by dropping the struggle, approaching things as a challenge, approaching things with that I get to do this kind of mentality. So look at your to-do list. This is your homework. I want you to look at your to-do list today and say, okay, what's on that list? What's a have to? What's a want to? And what's a get to? Start with the get-tos. Do something on the I get to do this list, okay? So for myself, one of the things I get to do, which is such a strange thing, normally it would be I have to, because it sounds like a chore, but what I get to do when I get off of this is book a hotel room. Not a fun task, not something I ever like to do, and comparing prices and all that stuff, never fun, but I get to do it because it's taking me to an event next week that I'm really excited about. I get to do that. I get to show up. I am so excited, a little bit scared, and so excited about this opportunity I've set up for myself, and I've gone after and I've made happen. I want you to have that same experience. Okay, so that's all I have got for you. It's a really quick workshop, but I want you to drop the struggle. You are lying to yourself with this struggle BS. It's not a struggle. It's not real. Hilda wants to convince you it is. Because the longer you hang out in the struggle, the longer you are just standing in the mud or spinning your wheels or whatever metaphor you want there, right? Lori says, I get to take my oldest to meet the teacher tonight for 6th grade. Ooh, that's exciting, right? Instead of I have to take my kid to 6th grade. I get to go meet that teacher. I get to take my oldest. I get to be part of that experience. I love it, right? It's a different focus. It's a different way to approach it. I have no idea, Lori, if you were approaching it in a different mindset before this talk, but that's what I'm talking about, right? I get to do this. So what do you get to do? I get to drop the struggle. I don't want to struggle for anything. I don't need to struggle. It is not a struggle. The struggle is not real. My first world problems are just that, first world problems. And I'm not going to let them hold me back. I'm not going to crack open a window so Hilda can come in and have even more ways with my head. Ain't got no time for that. All right, friends. So I'm done ranting. Thank you for listening to my rant. I'm Coach Jenny. If you are thinking about working with me, but you haven't yet, here's the first step. We should talk. I would love to have a conversation with you. Each member of this community gets one free call so that I can get to know you and get a sense of whether or not the Get Out of Your Own Way coaching experience is for you. You can go to bit.ly/meet Coach Jenny, all lowercase. That'll take you over to an invitation page so you can learn a little bit more about me, about my coaching style, and specifically about what the heck I'm doing. If you are sick and tired of being in your own way, and you know that the only thing holding you back from where you are to where you want to be is you, I can help you move out of the way instantly. We're going to do this. Okay, maybe not instantly, quickly, permanently. It's time. It's time. So get out of your own way already. Book a call. I'm ready to talk to you. I'm going to go have some more coffee and get ready for my next call, which I get to do. This is so cool. Every Tuesday, I get to hang out with the Get Out of Your Own Way coaching community, and we do this fantastic process I call Unstuck and Unstoppable. It's so much fun. So I get to go do that. So I'm going to go have a little more caffeine. Clearly, I need that, and get ready for that call because it's one of my favorite times of the week. And I will be back here a little bit later with more yumminess. I'm super excited about the engagement and everything that's happening in here. If you have any feedback or questions for me, you know how to reach me. All right, guys, have a great day.